In this video, let's look into workflows within SharePoint. Now, workflows are directly integrated into lists and document library. Basically, it's a no-code automation and it allows you to quickly create approval, notification, and data-driven tasks. Users can create quick, simple approval workflows in a matter of seconds. You need not create a separate flow and then attach that flow to a list or a document library or an item within a document library. You can just click on workflows, and then from that screen or interface, you will be able to create that automation in a quick fraction of time. Now, co-owner can be added for the workflow so that you need not be the complete owner of that particular workflow. So you can share it with the other users. So in case you are on leave, or maybe in case that user's account is disabled for whatever reason, other owner can go ahead and update the flow as required. So you can manage, you can have an edit, and you can have a delete rights. At the end, it's a Power Automate flow which runs in the backend. So this is an example of a document library. Within a document library, you will see this icon called as a workflows. Now, once you click on workflows, here you get an option to start from a template. Here you will see an option to build from scratch. You can navigate to different template items, and you can see all the workflow which you have built for that specific library or a list. This is an example of a list. So if you click on workflows, here again, you will get that same screen. Once you go inside a workflow, you will be able to see the owners, and you can add a co-owner just by typing the name, email, or you can specify the user group as well. Now, if you start from scratch, here you need to first specify a trigger and an action. Now, within a trigger, you get recurring schedules, file and list items, emails and meeting, chats and channel. In the schedule, you can select an interval, frequency, and then the action which you can perform is like, I'll just show you next. But in the triggers, you have a recurring schedule, you have files and list item, you have emails and meeting. Within files and list item, you get all the SharePoint related triggers, like if someone adds an item into a SharePoint library, or a file is modified, or a list item is modified, or if an item is selected. In chats and channel, if a new message is sent in a channel, a new member is added to a team, if you are mentioned in a chat, if someone reacts in a group chat, so you can take that as a triggering point. From an email and meeting, when a new email arrives, or when an event is added, updated, or deleted, so you can get that as a triggering point as well. About action, once you select the trigger, you get an option for chats and channels, so you can post a message to a conversation, you can get notified privately, you can start a chat. From an email and meeting, you can send an email, you can create an event in Outlook. From a task perspective, like this is useful from an approval task system. So send an approval request, you can request a manager approval. And from a task perspective, you can create a planner task, you can create a work item in Azure DevOps. So once you create a workflow, if you want to pause that workflow, you can turn that workflow off, you can view the details, you can edit, you can delete the workflow which you have created, or if where you have the ownership rights. So that's all about workflow. So let's jump into the demo. So I have this document library and I have this list over here, right? So in SharePoint, if you go into a document library, you click on three dots over here, you will see something called as a workflow. So if I click on workflow here, it will show you the screen. Basically, it will allow you to select from a set of template, you can build from scratch, or you can view all the workflow which you have already created. Now I already created this workflow. One is a recurring nature, and another one is just like on basis of some triggering point. I can go ahead and click on three dot, I can turn off this workflow. So I just turned off this workflow. Now this workflow will not be active now. You can click on see all to see all the workflows which is attached to that particular document library. So this is inactive now. Here you can view the details, you can edit, you can delete. So if I want to view the details, you click on details, and then you will see when this workflow ran. So this workflow is running every day. Now, what I want is, like, I'm okay with this. I will just turn off this workflow. So I'm just turning off this existing workflow. Now, in the owner, if you see, you have an option to add an additional owner. So take, for example, if you're going on leave and if you want someone else to work on this, then you can type in, say, someone else's name. So Alex, I will add Alex. Or maybe I can add the security group as well. Okay, so I have the security group called a CPS author, so I'll add those security group. Or maybe I have another M365 group or a security group which is called as Alex security group, so I'll add that security group. So you can add a security group over here, and at any point of time you can remove the security group as well. You can delete this flow, and this flow name, as you see, it has got some GUID in it. You can click on edit and just say, oh, this one is just a release date reminder, so I don't want all this uh, uh, value over here. Maybe you can just name in a specific fashion and then just save it. Okay, now if I go into a list over here, against a list I have this workflow. Now in the workflow, again, you get the same option. We have seen all these options. Your workflow, which is attached to a list, we can navigate to various templates. So as you see over here, there are various templates which are currently available. Or you can go ahead and build from scratch. So I'll click on build from scratch, and then you have an option to select a trigger. So I'll select a trigger. Now this time, if someone adds an item into a list, so I'll just say if a list item is created, then I need an action, which is basically I get a post a message to a conversation. And here I'll say if someone adds something to a SharePoint site Brisbane, which is this one, a SharePoint list, which is a quick step list. Conversation type is maybe channel or a group chat, and then you type in the team name, say MVP. Girish MVP is one of the team. And then in the channel, I have this R&D channel and AI channel. So maybe let me pick up R&D channel, and I'll say one item is created in SharePoint list, and I'll click on save. Now I have an option to edit in Power Automate as well, so I can click on it and then it will open a Power Automate flow. But then I'm okay with this. Now in over here, as you see, this is the name which this list item has, like we have created just now, right? Against that list item, I can just go ahead and rename the flow as well. So I'll just change the name of the flow if I don't want that, but I'm happy with it. This flow has not yet run, and I can assign it to maybe another user, say Lee, and then I will assign it to another corner, which is Lee security group, and then all good. Okay, so I've created this item, this workflow, very simple. I haven't added any code, I haven't opened Power Automate, so all good. Now let's go ahead and add a new item over here. So I'll just click on refresh, and I will add a new item. So what should happen when a new item is added? The workflow should run, and then once that workflow runs, it will post a message in the Teams channel. So here I'll add a new item, and I can add whatever state I want. So let me say active, and maybe cost is 5600. I can attach something, anything over here, and I've added this line item. Now what should happen is, like, if you go into the workflow which you have just created is this one. You can go and see whether it is active. Yes, it is active. You go inside that workflow, and then you should be able to see all the run history. Now this flow has not yet turned on, so you haven't, like, say this flow has not yet triggered, so you will not see any information over here. But after some time, this flow will be triggered, and then that particular action will be executed. Now, if you want to see what action will be executed, again, click on edit. You say Brisbane is the site, SharePoint list is quick step list, action details is conversation type channel, and it will post one item is created in a SharePoint list. So this is how you can create a workflow. Now this is for a list. Okay. Now if you go into a document library, again over here, I can go ahead and click on workflow. Now this time I'm going to use from a template. Now notify a channel when a new SharePoint list item is added, or notify a channel when new SharePoint files are added. So maybe this one works best for me. So I'll just click over here, click on press when SharePoint documentary, all everything has come. You can select specific folder as well, but I don't want any specific folder. Let it be open. Select the teams through which the channel should be posted. Click on any other channel and then click on save. And then what should happen is when a file is uploaded in SharePoint document library, this particular flow will run. Now you have an option to turn off this flow. So I'll just turn off this flow and it becomes inactive. I can go ahead and turn on this flow. This will be active. I can add a new owner as well. Now everything is good. I'll just go ahead and close this. Now what should happen when a file is uploaded? Then at that point of time, a message should be posted in the Teams chat. So I'll just go over here and maybe let me pick up any file which I have, and I'll upload that file in this document library. So I'll add this file over here, and this file will be uploaded in this document library. And then after some times, you can go ahead and check in the workflow whether that workflow has triggered or not. So you can navigate to the workflow, and then you can just check whether that workflow has triggered or not. So you can navigate to notify R&D channel, and then after some time you will see the run history over here. Now, if you navigate to Teams, within the Teams, you should be able to see all the notifications which has been passed through this workflow. Because what we have said is if some item gets added into a list or into the document library, you should be able to see the corresponding notification. And if you see over here in R&D channel over here, you will see one item is created in SharePoint list. So new file added to contract document library. So what we have done is we have ran two workflow and we said that, okay, if an item is created in SharePoint list, send out this information. If an item is created or a file is added into a document library, add this information. And like that, you can again go back, you can go into workflows, and then you can view the workflow status. It is not instantaneous, but it will come after some time. So as you see over here, now that item has come over here. Similarly, if you go to run history over here, there's no refresh, but if you can go back again to your document library, then you should be able to see the flow run, which is this one, and it is succeeded. You can go ahead and click on it. It will open the Power Automate interface. And again, remember, this is at the end of the day, it's all a Power Automate flow, which is like masked within this entire system. It is abstracted so that you only focus on the UI within SharePoint and you did not go into a different application to execute it. And this is what it has created. So that's it, folks. This is all about workflow within SharePoint. Thanks for watching.